Hello there, it's Samantha here of Autumn Fox and Rabbit Crafts. I made a video a few months ago and I'm pretty sure I probably said, I'm coming back, I'll be back in a couple of weeks, you'll see. And then I disappeared and you've heard nothing from me since, and you're probably thinking, she's completely disappeared. I've not, I'm still here. I think YouTube might be getting ready to delete my channel. I'm not sure. I've lost access to something or other, and I'm just waiting for the next message to say that I have lost access to the YouTube channel. So I thought I'd try and kind of resurrect it, kind of save it before YouTube tried to do anything to it. Where have I been? Well, I've been spending quite a bit of time on my Bookish channel. I have a BookTube channel under the name of Samantha Sutherland Art and Books. So I will put a link to that in the box below if you want to go and have a nosy. And I have just over 100 videos on there, and I have probably something like 30 on this channel. I don't know, not very many, probably not even that. I haven't looked lately. But I thought I'd catch you up on what's going on, because there is a lot going on at the moment. And I'm finding that the stress is just kind of not good. And I want to kind of get very distracted from said stress. Now, I am aware that I have not got a lot of subscribers. I have 69 of you lovely people, which is lovely. And I love to chat to every single one of you. But it would be nice if I could chat to a few more people and maybe inspire a few more people. However, can't inspire people if I'm not doing anything, can I? So I have been spending the last couple of weeks having a jolly good think. And what I want to get from this particular channel. First of all, I still need to get I don't know if I mentioned it, but my computerized sewing machine has gone kaput. So I need to get that fixed. Oh, and also this is quite a chatty video, so you might want to grab yourself a cuppa of something. And I'm sorry that I'm looking a bit of a mess, but I've had a very, very rubbish kind of couple of weeks, and I'm trying to grow my hair out as well. So there's that. I have gone through my wool stash, and I have donated quite a lot of it to my daughter's school, because I realised that I had wool that I didn't remember buying for projects I don't remember what I was going to knit, and I haven't done any knitting for a very long time, and I want to get back into knitting. And so I have the wool for the blanket that is in the knitting book that is And Sew to Bed, but I've put the book away. I've put a lot of my sewing stuff and a lot of my knitting stuff away, but then I got to thinking, I've still got access to my cotton threads and my very fine sewing needles, and of late my history nerd self has really ramped itself up. It's begging to be let out, and it has been, in the fact that I'm doing Tudor Timber on BookTube. And I thought, I'm doing Tudor Timber for September and October. Basically, Tudor Timber is when you watch or visit or read anything to do with the Tudors, the Tudor period. You might visit an old Tudor church, you might watch Elizabeth starring Kate Blanchett, you might go to a fashion exhibition. There is one on at the moment, I'm not quite sure where it is, but if you've ever heard or seen or read Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel, they made it into a BBC series. I watched both series back to back. I binge watched it and absolutely loved it. I even shed a tear at the very end because it was very sad, even though I knew what was going to happen. There is an exhibition of Wolf Hall costumes. I'm not sure where it is, but I'll Google it and I'll have a look. I know it's touring, I think, so I can put the touring dates up if I can find them. Or you might go to, if you're close to Manchester, there's the Whitworth Art Gallery, and they have a really good textiles section of clothing and things dating back to, I don't know how far, I've not been for quite a long time, or you know, that sort of thing. They might have some Tudor clothing in there, I'm not sure, you'd have to look and you have to check. But that kind of thing. So you might visit somewhere, watch something, see something, read something, even look at a book on art. And I know this is a sewing channel, so you might specifically go to look at the Bacton altar cloth, for instance, which is it's now a replica at Bacton, at the church in Bacton, because the actual Bacton altar cloth, I think, is at the is it the V&A? I'm not 1,000,000% sure, but I know it's at some rather big museum. So yeah, that sort of thing. So I'm taking part in Tudor Timber, and because I love Tudor Timber so much, I wanted to bring it over to this channel. And also I'm doing October part as well. So I've called it, I forgot what I called it. What did I call it now? A little more time with the Tudors in October. A bit of a mouthful, but I didn't want to take Tudor Timber because if you're interested in books and also textiles, you want to find out more about it, I will link Lil's Vintage World, and there's also Julie of Bookish Travels. They are the hosts of this year's Tudor Timber, and I'm hosting my own extra time with the Tudors in October. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of finding patterns from the Tudor era, or something like that, and maybe replicating or sewing something based on the Tudor era. So it might be a head covering, or I might try and have a go at making a nightie, for instance, or a pocket, or something that is easily doable for someone who has been going through quite a bit of trouble with my chronic illnesses of late, which is another reason why I haven't really been doing anything, because I've had quite a few flare-ups. I have mentioned before that I have chronic illnesses. I have fibromyalgia, I have arthritis, and I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which all lead to pain, fatigue, aching, sleepiness, because I've been doing a lot of sleeping as well. But also I was actually quite ill a few weeks back. I was well, it was annoying because it was right at the very beginning of the summer holidays, and I was sent to hospital because I had an infection. When I've mentioned on this channel that I had most of my pancreas removed, but there is a collection and it got infected, and I ended up for 3 days in hospital on antibiotics for 2 weeks. So that really knocked it out of me as well. And also a member of my family, my dad, he's struggling at the moment. He's been having falls, and we are having to search out sheltered accommodation for him, and we need to clear his house. When I say we, it's mainly going to be my husband and me, just basically going, yes, put that in the skip, take that to the tip. But yeah, we're going to have to start clearing his house and getting him into sheltered accommodation, because he's not managing in his house at the moment. He can't manage the stairs very well, and yeah, and he's not one for doing as he's told. He's a bit stubborn, is my dad. So that's another thing that's really kind of ramped up the stress factor. And so with all of this going on, I have been really looking forward to Tudor Timber, and I am absolutely loving it. In fact, I will show you what I'm reading. I know this is sewing, but this is book related. I know, but I'm reading Crown of Blood by Crown of Blood, The Deadly Inheritance of Lady Jane Grey by Nicola Tallis. I've picked a couple of other books to read as well. So yes, and on this channel, what I would really like to do is, I may have mentioned this moons ago, I don't know, but I am a big fan of watching people like Bernadette Banner and and Morgan Donner and Rachel Maksy, and Morgan Donner especially. She does a lot of history bounding stuff. So she does a lot of history sewing, as does Bernadette Banner. Rachel Maksy, she's absolutely lovely, but she tends to do kind of vintage or costumes. She's getting ready for Maxoween, so she does things like that. Whereas Morgan Donner is predominantly, I think she does mainly kind of medieval era and that kind of era as well. I'm very interested in the Tudors and medieval era. To be honest, the Tudor era is like towards the end of the medieval era anyway. And I like the idea of recreating items, maybe, and also sewing more contemporary things as well, because like I've mentioned previously, I have to get my daughter's new room sorted out. We have stalled at that for now, but hoping the next couple of weeks to really get going on that again. My husband's going to do a lot of tip runs, and then we are going to paint everything and repaint everything because we've had a damp problem, which we've also been dealing with, which, touch wood, I think might be kind of sorting itself out somewhat. And we have a lot to do for that room, and I have the want to do things like I want to make a big comfy cushion type thing for my daughter to sit on. She's also a book nerd and she's also a Shakespeare nerd like me. So she wants a library in her bedroom, which I said, yeah, of course, yeah, well, we can do that. But she'll need cushions and she'll need seats and things for that. So I want to make these big cushions and big pillows and things for her. So that's what I'm wanting to make. I want to try and possibly make a teepee. I don't know. I did kind of say I was going to buy one or get a friend of mine to make one, but my friend's a little bit busy with life herself, and I'm not sure if I could. I don't know if I can make one. I don't know if I can find a pattern. I was asking my friend if she can give me her teepee pattern. It fit her husband in it, and her husband's quite tall, so I have no doubt it will fit my daughter in it. So yeah. Also, I have her quilt to finish. I've been saying that for the last however many years, and I have like a dozen other quilts to finish. And not to outdo myself, but I have one other quilt which I have mentioned in the past. I have this massive obsession with, and that is the Peterloo Massacre quilt. Now, if you are new here and you're coming upon this video for the first time thinking, what's the Peterloo Massacre quilt? And you might not be able to find it in my other videos, or you just don't want to sit through the videos and find out what it is. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it. Basically, in 1819, I think it was, in Manchester, at St. Peter's Field, which is basically St. Peter's Square in Manchester now, where the Metrolink goes through before it goes to Piccadilly Gardens. That was a field, and there were problems with things like with getting grain from France and things like that, or something like that. I can't quite remember my history very well, and I'd only come upon this a few years ago, which put into motion an obsession itch in my head that I wanted to make something so I could go to the Festival of Quilts and show a quilt there. But yeah, basically there was an orator, and then there was a cavalry, and there was yeomen, and they wanted to basically be heard. And unfortunately, the yeomen were told to charge, and something like 18 people died, but over 1,000 were injured. But to be honest, they don't really know how many people really died, because obviously very gravely injured people were taken away and they would have died after, and it might not have been recorded. And I want to make a quilt that is locally the fabric is local. So I want to go to Quarrybank Mill, because there would have been people from Quarrybank Mill who had gone to the meeting. And not only that, when I think it was Mike Lee directed the film, I think they used Quarrybank Mill. I know Maxine Peake was in the film, and there's quite a few other quite well-known British actors in it. But basically, I have been, ever since I went to Quarrybank Mill as well, after I watched the Peterloo Massacre by Mike Lee, I'm pretty sure it was by him, I've had this itch in my brain that I want to make a quilt. Even if I don't show it anywhere, even if I don't take it to the Festival of Quilts, because I'm not sure if I could manage the Festival of Quilts. I'm not sure if my daughter could manage, because I know her and my husband would just get really bored. But yes, I have been itching to make a quilt, even if I just make this quilt to satisfy the itch in my brain. I have obsessively been trying to figure out how much fabric and stuff I need and how much it's going to cost. I think, excuse me, I think I've like added it up to something like £250, I think. That's just on buying materials to make the quilt. So that's why it's been a long time in the plotting, because of cost mainly. I can save up for it very easily, but I just keep buying books instead. But I have actually got a savings jar, which is basically for textiles and wool, which I will start using, because I'm going to start saving for the fabric, and hopefully over the next year or so I should have enough to buy the fabric to make this quilt, and there will be a lot of research behind it as well. And I'm hoping to take it to the Festival of Quilts, but I might not get there. But even if I don't get there, at least I have made something that I have obsessively been wanting to make for the last few years. So where I stand at the moment is I have no fabric and I'm going to be watching the film again because I absolutely thought it was fantastic. I think they've got something in the John Rylands Library in Manchester to do with the Peterloo Massacre. There's lots of books on there as well. So I'm kind of wanting to do quite a bit of historical sewing, and also looking into the history of things like quilts and things, because my brain is just on like history at the moment, and I'd like to feed that into this channel, kind of to kind of sit alongside my BookTube channel just a tiny bit. But also I will be doing contemporary stitching as well, so it would be things like cushions and maybe the odd thing for Christmas, or I don't know, but I basically want to do a bit of everything. But I also want to look at doing sewing to do with certain eras as well. And like I said, my interest is the Tudor era and the medieval period. I love the medieval period, and there's a lot out there. So this video is just kind of like a hello, I am still here. Also, I just need the distraction, I really do, and I have a load of books on quilting, and I've been watching lots of Pink Cut Sew and Morgan Donna, and Stitching with Rachel, who I absolutely love watching her makes as well. And obviously The Last Homely House. I have an obsession to do with starting quilts, just not finishing the blinking things. I will be finishing my daughter's quilt. That will be the first thing that I want to finish on. But again, money. There's so much fabric I need to buy, so not a lot of money. But no, I will get hers. I want to get hers finished for Christmas, to be honest. But I want to make something Tudor related, maybe, which I can sit and hand sew, because getting my sewing machine out is a bit of a faff, and not always possible. And I have cleaned off the desk, funnily enough, downstairs. It did have a jigsaw puzzle on it, which I got fed up trying to do. I was doing that for Tudor Timbre because it's a Shakespeare. So yeah, that's where I am right now. I am here. I'm still here. I will pop on from time to time. I'm hoping to visit like wool shops and things. Maybe I'll be able to take a little bit of footage. I need to get braver and ask. Things like go to the big Waterstones in Manchester and film their lovely sewing books and things like that. And I want to go to more like craft things, and I don't know, I need to find if there's any local. But yeah, I'm also very interested in tapestry at the moment, and I want to have a go at making, I forgot the name of the cushion, but it's a specific cushion you kneel on in churches. I have always had this weird obsession ever since I was a kid. I used to love looking at those cushions that they knelt on when they, when they prayed and things. Hang on a minute, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had a delivery. I had to go downstairs to get it, so a bit out of breath now. I'm tired. So anyway, I was about to end the video anyway. Also, I am waiting to get in the post a book on Viking textiles. There is a article by Dr. Alexandra Makin, who is here on YouTube. She has a channel called Medieval Embroidery. I think I can never get it right. I always get it wrong, and I will put a link to it under this video. Her channel, that is. She's not really posted anything for a while, but she's a professor, I think it is, at Manchester Met, which is my old stomping ground. And she's a specialist in medieval textiles and Viking textiles, as well as the fact she's got a article in it. So when the book comes, I cannot wait to share that with you, and also kind of explore the sort of things that they would have worn in the Viking era even. But yeah, so I'm just going to leave it there for now, because it's been quite a chatty video with nothing really to show other than my nice cup. I do look forward to coming back onto the channel with actual sewing projects. Also, I might just share my love of homely murder mysteries with you. I'm a huge fan of Rosemary Time and Midsummer Murders. And I plan on buying the box set at some point, and I love things like Downton Abbey and You Rang My Lord, things like that. So maybe I'll share my watching with you too, if that's of any interest. I don't know, it might not be, but yeah, I have quite a bit of fabric, and I'm looking to get some older style fabric as well. So yeah, that's basically where I'm up to right now with my hopes for the channel anyway. I don't want YouTube to just delete it. And I will still be doing some cross stitch when I've got the ability to do it. I do miss doing cross stitch, and like I said, I want to start doing knitting again. There's a couple of knitting shops I want to visit. One in Stockport. There's two actually, because there's one in Romley, which is not stupidly far from me, and there's a new one just opened up. Well, opened up a few months ago on I think it's not Underbank, Lower thingy, somewhere in Stockport anyway. I'm hoping to get to that in the next few weeks as well. So yeah, that's really all from me. I'm sorry I haven't been around much. I'm sorry I've not been doing anything lately, and I'm sorry that my channel's kind of gone very quiet, but hopefully I'm going to start uploading again. I'm going to get back to, I'm going to do some nice shorts as well, I think, like hand stitching and things like that, and maybe get back into slow stitching as well. I've got plenty of fabric for slow stitching and an Etsy addiction, so we'll see where that takes us, shall we? So if you are looking for me, you can find me on here, and you can find me on Ravelry. If you are looking for my Bookish channel, you can find that on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Goodreads. And I do from time to time post sewing stuff on Instagram. And as I want to do more historical sewing, it might be an idea to keep your eyes peeled on Instagram. I will link all these below, and I'm going to say goodbye for now because I'm pretty tired, and I think you can tell it's been a very long day and it's been a very long couple of weeks. And yeah, so thank you very much for sticking with me, and I hope to share something sewing related with you soon. It might just actually be a pretty book review type showing haul type thing when my Viking textiles book comes, but other than that, I am going to go and do some research on some Tudor items of probably headwear that I want to share with you all. So we'll see what happens, because I need to get some cotton for that, and I've got cotton thread. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to say thank you for sticking with me, for being patient, and I hope you like what I'll be bringing you in the future. I'm not quite sure when the first video, because I might do a big relaunch and do a proper this is me coming back to sewing type video. So anyway, just keep your eyes peeled, and I should be back soon, hopefully. Might be a few weeks. But until then, I want to say happy stitching, happy knitting, and stay warm, stay safe, and happy crafting wherever you are. And I will see you all hopefully again very, very soon, even if it's just to pop on with a visit to somewhere textile or something, and something like that. Anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm going to say goodbye. So good night, goodbye, good morning. I don't know when you're watching this, but I'm going to stop rambling. I'll say goodbye. So I'll see you later. Bye bye, everyone.